Hi, I'm Sierra, and this is, what's your name? This is Snow. And we live full-time in our van, whose name is Dreams.
This content is sponsored by Outdoorsy. Through Outdoorsy, you can rent your camper van out to make extra cash, and you can rent a van to try van life before you commit.
It's a 2017 Dodge ProMaster 2500, so 159 wheelbase. We bought the van in July of 2020 and started living in it full time at the end of September. Bought it from someone who had already built it out, and somehow my dreams came true. So yeah, come on in, I'll show you my home. The first time I saw this van was in a video, and I just fell in love with the woodwork. The interior is almost all cedar, and it's continuous grain, so that means that the boards are the same board all the way across even when they're cut, and the grain goes even around the corners here, which is just outstanding. If you make a mistake when you're building it, you can't just cut a new board, you have to start all over again. So this is part of my kitchen. Again, have the cedar countertops and cabinetry, which is wonderful. I've got a nice deep sink here, which there's probably a few dirty dishes hiding in there, which is nice to have it deep. And then this also flips over to be used as a cutting board, which I don't use as one because it's too pretty. And I have two 6-gallon water jugs underneath the counter here, so it's nice and accessible. I can just pull them out and refill at any Safeway or anywhere that has water. I do have a water pump. It's on a switch, so the power doesn't pull if I'm not using it. Switches there also to my inverter, as well as my USB port over there. So this is my pantry, and it has these awesome, I don't know what you call these, what the technical term is, but they hold up so I can get all my food in there and not have it falling down on top of me. And then there's really strong magnets, so there isn't actually a latch on there. They close nice and tight. It actually takes like 2 fingers to open them up again. And then I have my awesome knife holder there that's magnetic, and no, they've never fallen off, and I have not gotten stabbed on them. And it's actually kind of nice. I've had a few people, you know, walk by and see the knives there, and maybe they don't want to come in my van because they see the knives. So it could also be, I guess, self-defense. I don't know. So up top here, I have storage for all of my bedding and random potato chips because that's where they seem to fit the best. Tons of room up here. It's kind of ridiculous. I have 3 blankets, a sleeping bag, a pillow, and my sheet set all up in here, as well as window coverings, blackout curtains that go along my windows if I'm somewhere and I don't want people seeing in. I have this shelf up here that has my raincoat, Snow's raincoat, Snow's jacket. He doesn't like being cold, as well as a headlamp and just random things. Lots of room there. And then this is one of my favorite features in the van, is my bike rack. This is the only one that I've seen like this. The previous owner put his road bike in here. I did not want to have my bicycle behind the van, or I didn't want the garage in the van to be able to store it. So when I saw this, I was like, my problem is solved. So it's easy to put in here. It just straps like this. You take the front wheel off and it hooks on there. I use a little bungee. Yeah, super easy to take on and off. So I love it. Super efficient. Barely takes up any space. Lots of storage space in this van as well. All these drawers have a nice soft close latch on them. So they don't actually have a latch that closes, but when they do close, they're really hard to open. So if I take a corner too fast, Oreos, everyone's got to have Oreos. Sorry. If I take a corner too fast, they will open. I have all of my dishes, a little bit of food, cookware, everything in there. For my refrigerator, it's an isotherm, runs off of 12 volt. It barely uses any power at all, and obviously tons of storage room in there. I can fill that thing up and it'll last me a couple of weeks for food. There is a tiny freezer in there. I've never actually put anything in it, but apparently I could if I wanted to. I love that it's upright and I don't have to like open up a bench or open it up that way and dig around on things. Having everything organized a little better is nice too. I have even more space in this van. This is a walnut countertop that also has my stove inside. So this slides out, which is wonderful. So I can either keep that out there and put my stove here, which is here. And then the gas is just directly piped into my tank, which is under the bench here. I have room in here for pot holders and lighters and all of that. And then this clips down here as well. I can also access this from this little flip out cabinet. Down here is where I keep my toilet. I do have a Thetford little porta potty that I do use for all those people asking about toilets. Yes, they're wonderful when you need them. I also have under here a safe that is bolted to the floor. And there's a lock combo on there so I can keep my laptop and passport and stuff in there, and no one can actually take the safe out. They would literally have to take the entire cabinet and then unbolt the safe from the floor of the van in there. So, and just in case I ever got broken into. The iconic spice rack, which I love. I love to cook, so this was wonderful to have in here. And previous owner did as well, obviously, which is why he built it that way. And I think I have enough spices to be able to make any combination of anything that I would ever want. This is like my control panel for the van. This is for heat. I have a Propex propane heater, and this is where I would control that. Switches go to, wow, that's really dirty. Switches go to my lights, and they're on dimmers and they're individual. So I can dim the lights here or have them off completely, dim the lights in the ceiling or have them off completely. It's nice to be able to have that dual representation there. And then my fan is typical Maxxair, which is great. That's what the remote control is over there. Can turn it on with a push of a button. It opens up, gets the air flowing really nice in here, and then the trim, obviously, and more, just the woodwork is incredible. Every time I look at this van, I've been in it since July. I just love it. Another thing that I love about this van is the windows. That's something that was a must for me. I wanted to be able to see out. I work full time in the van, so not being able to see out would make me just feel like I lived in a cave all the time. The windows are tinted, so during the daytime you cannot see in. I've been in parking lots and what have you, people go right by the van and you can't see in them. At nighttime though, you can see in, so I do have blackout curtains that I can put up at night. They're just velcroed up here. They also open, which is wonderful to get that nice breeze going when it gets too hot. More storage up here. So these nettings are amazing. They're great for clothes rotation. I run a lot, get sweaty clothes. I don't necessarily want to put them back in with my nice clean clothes, so it's great to be able to put them up here. Right now I have my required flannel shirt that every van lifer has to have. That's up here. And then I also have insulated covers. That's what those two things are there above those windows that just, they're magnetized and they go in there. And then I have an insulated one that goes into these windows also if it's too cold or too hot. And that helps keep the temperature good in here as well. And then my main table here is reclaimed redwood with some black walnut trim as well. And it's on a cool swivel and also goes down for the bed. So this is my dining area as well as my bedroom and my office. So I sit here for many hours a week and work. And then this is also my bed. So my table goes down and this slides back. And then very easily, usually not when I'm on camera though. Oh, looky there. It slides all the way down. This is really hard to do when you have a dog and he's jumping around and wants to play. Then I just pull these and go like that. And then there's my bed. So I can sleep this way, any direction. I also have another piece that fits right here so that I can bring these and make it like this huge crazy bed if I want to. If I'm ever parked somewhere where I cannot get level, it comes in really handy because then I can literally sleep in any direction that I want and have my head up. So more storage, so much storage here, I love it. These are also on springs that keep them open. I already forgot what they're called. So all my batteries are under here as well, and the solar, and then all the rest of this is storage. So much room. I have a paddle board under here, and extra clothes that I don't need. So same on both sides. On this side, it's my propane tank and my heater, and then storage all the way back, which I can also access from the back doors. There's a door that opens up down there, so I can get anything that I need from the back doors there. Another feature that I love is my bookshelf. I brought a few select books with me, and then I love to journal, so I have like, we're not going to say how many different journals in here. So it's been wonderful to be able to have that right next to the bed. And then, like I said, when I was in the van, I can access the storage from out here also. So I keep my chairs in here when they're not set up, and my paddleboard, which I have yet to actually take out. I haven't been by any lakes. And then over here is where I keep all my running gear, so I can get to my packs and snows, harnesses, and all that nice and easily. So this is a really neat feature as well. I'm always saying that. This is a neat feature. My whole van is a neat feature. The whole thing is I have this table. So the previous owner also built vans out on the road. He's made multiples, and he made this more of a workstation, and it's perfect size to cook also. And the really cool thing is it's expandable. So if I want to set up a whole bunch of my gear and cook and make a whole meal, I actually did like a potluck thing with some friends recently, safely outside. It was wonderful. So lots of room here as well to be able to work on stuff. So on my roof I have a crow's nest, which is reclaimed wood decking. It's wonderful to be able to go up there and sit and watch the sunsets. I have a two-lay box that I have my backpacking gear, a Patagonia bag full of clothes that I don't really know why I have them, as well as some skis. I have 2 solar panels on the top as well. Obviously they're on the top. That'd be funny. They're on the bottom of the van. Don't know why my power's not working real well. I have 360, I think, 380 amp hours of solar up there, so 2 panels, 160 each. And yeah, they charge up this van literally in a couple hours. I'm already up at 100% just from it sitting in the sun for a couple hours. It's great. So I get asked a lot about how I feel about traveling by myself, especially as a solo female, and I love it. It's very comforting having Snow with me. He has a big bark for the little dog that he is, and he is protective to the point to where if someone comes near the van that he doesn't know, he lets out a nice big bark. He's the best alarm system ever. I also have an alarm system on the van, which was very important to me when I got the van. So it's also motion censored. So if someone tries to open the van and I'm inside and it's locked, it'll actually set off the alarm. He does this when I'm working. He puts his head up on there. Thanks so much for following along and joining me on the tour of my van. If you'd like to follow along on Snow's and my adventures, you can follow us on Instagram at Sierra's Traverse. And yeah, I hope to see you on the road and on the trails.
I hope you enjoyed that video. If you hadn't noticed, we do sell an ebook for how to convert a van. It has over 190 pages of detailed instructions and diagrams, also 25 video tutorials which are specifically for the ebook buyer. Creating a van for many people is obviously a really intimidating project, but I really believe, and I've seen it time and time and time again, that with the right information, anyone can turn out with a pretty decent van conversion. So check the link in the description, subscribe to the channel if you are not already, and drop us a comment if you like this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.